What's going on, everybody? It's not Christian. It's JD. But I did the intro. I don't know. I was feeling it this morning. I decided to steal some valor. I guess I had enough coffee.
Yeah. Well, it just gets everybody in the familiar mood. They know what's going on now.
Yeah, had to do it to him. But I am joined by Spay to my right and Jason Nolf across the desk from me. He's joining us today to talk World Team Trials. The Christian and some of the rest of our guys are already en route to Louisville for World Team Trials. It goes down tomorrow and Friday. So
they're either in the air or in the airport.
That's right.
With CP, Kozak, Bray, and I believe our own sweet prince, Connor Petros.
Yes. So a lot of people are going to be slacking off tomorrow and Friday at work. You know, just get the second screen going while you're faking, making spreadsheets.
Yeah, during the day is when the wrestling will be. So
that's right. Before we get to World Team Trials talk, a couple kind of news notes to get to. The National Duels field is entirely set.
Yeah, we got the full list.
So quick rundown: Arizona State, Little Rock, Iowa State, Minnesota, Missouri, NC State, North Carolina, Oklahoma State, Maryland, Pitt, Rutgers, Stanford, Virginia Tech, and Wyoming. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a lot of talk about, who gets the invite. Last year they had the whole, here, maybe I can bring this in here and we can.
What happened to Ohio State and Iowa and Nebraska?
I think there was some conflicts this year with the new date for some of them, like with exams and whatnot, and tournaments they wanted to do. So not everybody that could make it, but still a pretty solid field. It's going to be a lot of really good duels, an amazing early event in the wrestling season.
Look at Anthony Knox in his Rutgers singlet.
That's going to be fun.
We've never seen that before, and we've never seen that either because I don't think we have.
The powers of AI.
It's just amazing what you can do these days. But yeah, I mean, scheduling conflicts, and last year was the first year of NDI, and I think everybody agreed it was awesome. You got great matchups. You had early season Iowa versus Oklahoma State, and then you changed the schedule. I know a lot of coaches said that it was a little early for such a massive event, and it's tough to make any schedule or in any wrestling season. It's not like there's one commissioner that's going around telling every school and every event, this is how it's going to work for the best. Everybody just kind of does the best that they can, and sometimes it ends up with scheduling conflicts. But either way, every school that's going to be there is going to have a nationally ranked a squad with people that are going to be worth tuning in to see. So, and who knows, things maybe early in the season shake out in ways that nobody anticipated, regardless of how they finished last year.
When is it this year? Middle December?
Yeah, it's like the December 13th and 14th, I think.
It was November last year.
Yeah, it was early. So last year, like the whole season started off with a bang. It was like they moved up the All-Star Classic, so that was the first weekend, and then National Duels was like right after that. Made for an awesome, November, and then December still had plenty of action, but I think it was tough on some coaches and some teams. I think they thought that was just a real tough thing to start off with.
Second news item to get to, the Iowa State wrestling staff is complete for next season. Javier Maldonado from Little Rock announced as the next assistant at Iowa State. That's a good pickup.
Yeah, Javi, let me get that graphic in here.
He's been at Little Rock for quite some time now, and obviously Little Rock's doing great things, and I think he was a big part of that. So good for Javi, good for Iowa State.
Only hear good things about Javier Maldonado as I try to get this in here. I'm learning. Here we go. So, yeah.
Now, let's talk World Team Trials, because that's what's going down starting tomorrow. We're just going to start at the top, run through the weights that are going to be contested. 57 kilos, not a whole lot. The question, Jason, kind of is, can anyone close that gap on Spencer Lee?
No, I don't think in this weight class. Yeah, I think that he's pretty far ahead of. I mean, obviously a lot of good wrestlers, but Spencer Lee is just a different breed. I think that he's going to be the clear favorite here. I don't know. Who do you guys think would be probably the most competitive with him?
Anthony Knox, maybe, but we
Cronin,
just saw that at the Open, and he crunched him up and pinned him. I will say, though, I do think he said after that match, he was like, whoa, Knox was powerful, which is hilarious because
Spencer's the strongest powerful guy
and
ever.
He just crunched him up and pinned him. But it notable that I think Spencer was like, whoa, Anthony, there's something there. So Anthony Knox, unsurprisingly, probably going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this field. I mean, there's no easy pass through World Team Trials. Just to qualify, you have to be really good. But assuming it's Spencer, I mean, then that's the rematch that everybody's going to want to see with him and Luke, just because it was so tight and it took a last-second takedown that or a counter there from Luke, and it's
headlock.
Yeah.
Lefty headlock. That was
crazy. That's right. Lefty headlock, Luke.
Yeah.
I bet Luke Little's hit a headlock like once in his career before that, probably.
Yeah. Jason, you ever remember hitting like something that you're like, why did I do that? But it worked, and you're just like,
all the time.
That's the MO.
Yeah. You got to be fearless out there and just take risks, especially when you're losing. So that was pretty crazy. I actually didn't even get to watch that. I was out at the U.S. Open, but I was coaching one of my guys in the back, and I just hear the crowd going crazy. So I pulled up Flow on my phone real quick, and it was like, what just happened? So I rewound it and was able to see it. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, I think that was the move of the tournament right there.
61 kilograms. This is the weight kind of a lot of people are talking about because you got Jax Forrest, Ben Davino, Aaron Seidel are kind of the big three, but also have Nato, Austin DeSanto, Mikhail McGee.
They should just do a round robin.
Who says no?
6-man round robin.
You ever see like the UWW brackets where there's only like 6 guys and they end up all having to wrestle like 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
So much more fun than when you have an 8-person bracket and like the best guy only gets like 3 matches.
Yeah, or 2.
Yeah.
It does suck because we're not going to get someone is going to be left out of the Davino Forrest Seidel trio.
Yeah.
Like that'll be probably a semi with 2 of them, depending on how the seeds play out, and then the other one in the final.
Well, Davino will probably be 1, right? And then Jax 2.
And who knows where they put Seidel?
Yeah. Probably,
right? Because he's got NCAA credentials, but
probably DeSanto 3.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, he's been overseas too, doing a lot of competing. I think this is, I mean, how spoiled are we at 61? It's not an Olympic weight, but it's got so much energy and so much vitality right now because of these young guys coming in. I mean, it makes a guy like Nato, who was a champ and 3rd place 3 other times in the NCAA and has been at the top of, competing for a while now at the top of the ladder at 61 kilos. You're like an afterthought, but Nato is a dude, and I think he does some impressive things.
Mm-hmm. Jason, what do you think? Davino going to beat Forrest again?
I don't know. I mean, I think that when you look at that matchup, I guess after watching at the NCAAs, you expect Jax to just never lose. But then Davino wrestled so hard at the U.S. Open and found some adjustments that worked pretty well against Jax. And Jax is wild. So Davino is just solid, and he kind of took advantage of Jax wild wrestling at the U.S. Open. So I think that Jax is going to he's still got to wrestle himself and kind of be crazy, but maybe like tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like getting in some of those scrambles. He's like going across his back. So I think that it's hard to bet against either of those guys. I don't really know who's going to win.
It kind of felt like we were talking about it last show. Davino got that first takedown, and then Jax kind of was like, I got to go crazy and to try and come back, and kind of, got ahead of himself and wasn't thinking too much. So if he can avoid giving up that first takedown or avoid that kind of panic feeling, like he has to go and do something crazy versus just wrestling. Like if he just wrestles, you feel like Jax is probably the favorite, even though he just lost, which is crazy to say, but it seems like if every guy in this bracket wrestles their best, Jax Forrest is probably the winner.
Yeah, I think this is obviously the best weight class. At least the most entertaining for me. Every single matchup I'm tuning in.
Right?
Or even the U.S. Open, like that. This is the weight 61 and 65 were the 2 weight classes that I wanted to watch every single match of. And I would have never said that a couple years ago.
I kind of hope we get, which we won't, because I think Jax and Davino will be 1 and 2, but I wish they were like 1 and 4, and we could get that semi, and then Seidel DeSanto in the other semi.
Yeah. With
then either whoever comes out of the Seidel DeSanto match versus whoever comes out of the top in the final. Because man, how does a DeSanto Seidel match go?
I don't know. It's gonna be some bruised triceps on either guy, I think.
Yes.
Is the finals 2 out of 3, or is it just one match? That's great. When I wrestled in 2022 or 2023, and I did do the World Team Trials. I think it was 2022. We had to do a best 2 out of 3 in the finals, and then I had to go to Final X and do another best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm like, why would you? That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing in 2019. I remember wrestled Imar in 2 out of 3, and then he beat me, and then he went and wrestled Burroughs 2 out of 3. So it's like, only the final match should be 2 out of 3. So they got it right now. So
Yeah,
agree.
it keeps the stakes higher, and honestly, it's going to make for a better viewing experience when you're watching the finals. It's like, this is it, boom, 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 and these are our guys going to Final X.
Yep.
You mentioned all the different styles of the guys at 61, Jason. Are you noticing now that you've been getting in coaching more that, like, hey, a style makes a difference for a guy when he's out there, and, like, some guys need to tone it down, like a Jax is going too wild, you said, and it's like, how do you contain that when that is what makes Jax so interesting and dangerous of a wrestler, but at the same time, you have to find the right level?
Yeah, I think it's just experience and just wrestling more matches. The more Jax competes a lot, so I think the more he wrestles in freestyle at this level, he's just going to get more and more comfortable. I don't think it's anything like I wouldn't tell him, hey, try to hold back or anything like that. I would just say, hey, go be yourself, wrestle the way you know how to wrestle. And in the middle of a match, if he gets taken down right off the bat, I would just tell him, hey, like you said, like, you don't have to go. You got plenty of time. You got 5.5 minutes left. You got 4.5 minutes left. Just keep your hands and feet moving, keep chipping away at him, and you'll go score, and you can get him. So I've made the mistake of trying to kind of get a big move back. Like, I'm down, and I'm trying to
get it all at once.
And like you even see, like, when Dake wrestled at the Olympics and he wrestled Cuddy, like, he was trying to get like just a big move and get it back, and like the best wrestlers do that. So you just have to remind them, hey, like, you are good enough to just keep the pressure on, and you're gonna go score. You just, even if you get, like, Burroughs was a good example. Like, he would be down by 4 points and just get like 5 push-outs, and
Snyder comes to mind.
Snyder, Snyder was wrestling in that RAF the last duel, and he was down 6-0, and he just kind of got a push out at the end of the second, and then got a takedown, and then got another takedown, and then the guy was completely broke. So they just keep the pressure on people, and you can go score and win the match. So even if you're down 4 or 5 points.
61, I think, is also, we get the most diverse set of styles. Like, styles make the match, and you have a DeSanto in there with his unique style. Jax is obviously doing also, just inventing stuff on the fly. And then Marcus, sitting out in Final X, has a much more square up defense. Do you, leaving those guys aside, just in the broader sense, because I don't want you to have to like pick a guy there, but do you have a style that you like to coach out of kids? Do you think it's more fun even if one guy has a certain style?
I think, Jax is like my favorite wrestler, but I like the way that Davino wrestled at the U.S. Open. I thought he was, he stays in good position relatively, but he also is like really good scrambler and is wrestling through all these positions and never just gives up on a position. So I like those guys. That would be my opinion.
Tough to choose. The weight of weights at trials for sure.
Yeah, I'm always about scoring, and like about entertainment. And I think that those guys do it better than anybody. So
yeah, hard to argue that.
70 kilograms. What do you think about your boy Zane coming back?
I was pumped. I was not expecting that at all. Was anybody? Were you guys expecting it?
Came out to me.
I wasn't expecting it. Christian was kind of like, well, because he interviewed him after Olympics, or I can't remember. And apparently he said, like, I'm not retired. I'm going to come back, but obviously took this past year off. Caught me off guard.
Especially because he's doing the RAF in May too. So, with wrestling, you can compete every week. Like, I kind of got in the mindset like, oh, you only want to wrestle like every few weeks. But like in the college, they wrestled 2 matches every single weekend for the majority of the year. So like, it's not fighting, so you can go wrestle back-to-back weekends and get still full recovery and everything. It's not like you have to like fully prepare, especially if your weight's good. So I think that Zane, I'm super excited to have him back and be able to watch him. It's been when did he compete? 2024.
It's
It's only been 2 years, I guess.
Yeah,
feels like an eternity.
I know that's what I said the other day. I'm like, wow, and it's been since he's competed at this weight class. It's been since 2023, and I was like, so who knows what kind of version of Zane we get? But then Christian and John were like, well, yeah, but he did the Olympics and then he took 1 year off. Like a lot of, especially international guys, do that. Like that's not that strange. I'm like, when you put it that way, that's true.
Yeah.
And he's coaching, he's working out every day.
Yeah, he's training, so he must feel good if he's willing to enter. So,
and right away, he's the leader of this weight class. You got Ian Parker, Ed Scott, Jordan Williams, Alec Pantaleo, Caleb Hinson, Landon Robidoux. So some really fun potential matchups in there, especially when you think about Caleb Hinson, Landon Robidoux, Alec Pantaleo. Those level of guys, like if Zane is not 100% old Zane, like he's gonna get pushed, but he's for sure still the favorite.
Yeah, I'm surprised that that PJ's wrestling 74, not 70 kilo. I feel like I thought we'd see PJ at 70 kilo.
I know. 70, I know 70 kilograms was not fun for him to make last year, and 157 wasn't either. But Zane's his coach. Like Zane was in his corner at Final X last year, so maybe they were like, Zane's like, hey, I'm coming back. PJ's like, well, you know what? I want to move up anyway. Why don't you go make the team at 70? I'll make it at 74. Yeah. Perfect. But my actual favorite match comes at 74. PJ Duke versus David Carr. Like that's the match, even more than the 61 guys. Like that's the match I really want to see. It's like, okay, PJ, you made the team last year at 70 kilograms, but and where's David Carr? Like, it was David Carr's run last year, the outlier, where he wrestled kind of above his average level, and then he came back down to reality, quote unquote, at the U.S. Open, or was that the outlier performance?
Well, I think David is amazing. I think his style is like more just like attacking from the outside, and it can be predictable sometimes. So like he'll slap the mat and attack. Like anytime he
changes levels, touches double leg. Yeah.
It's not as much like slickness as it is like just like speed and timing most of the time. So if people are just defensive and just keep their hands low, it can be hard for him to get to their legs. And that's kind of what Cam Amin was doing. He was just kind of staying in good position against David. But I think that David is one of the best guys at making adjustments too. I remember he got tacked by Mitchell last year at the U.S. Open and then went and beat him 2 straight matches, right, at the Final X. So he's going to be working on making these adjustments against and as you spend more time wrestling freestyle and wrestling guys that are more defensive or just trying to stay in good position, you learn different ways to set up your shots and, enter the attack. So I think he has a good team and he'll be able to make some adjustments, but I don't think that it's like a guarantee. I mean, again, and I talked about this at the U.S. Open, but Joe Seeley is really tough and he's only getting better. I feel like the U.S. Open was really big for his confidence. Just being able to know that he can go beat those guys. So I don't really know who's gonna win this weight. I think that there's a lot of good guys in here. Even like Wick is. I mean, he's gonna be cutting a lot of weight
down to 74. That is.
I don't even know how he makes 79 kilos, and he's wrestling 74 kilos, which is wild. But again, there's no 79 or 86, so he kind of had to make a decision.
There's a chance he actually doesn't. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna try. I don't know if I can do this, but I have to
because such a big chunk of the weights are taken up all in a row there, right. 79 through 92. So your options, unless he wants to go heavyweight, which honestly he's got a frame, might take a while.
He could probably go heavyweight.
Yeah,
there's only 3 guys there. He could take top 4.
Hold the Zilmer. Well, we gotta go to page 2.
Page 2.
Heavyweight's actually kind of pretty loaded because of that.
Oh, yeah, never mind. There's 30 guys in there.
That's not going to be an easy one.
That's the biggest weight class.
Looking at 74 there, you got Duke and Seeley you mentioned, who it's like was, not – it's not like he wasn't on anybody's radar, but you just look at Penn State's lineup and you're like, where does Seeley fit in? You guys had some stacked lineups and crazy amount of talent, but are you even surprised now at how they're just the middle of those weights right now, the amount of talent in State College right now around the 74 kilo?
Yeah, they always seem to kind of have a plan, though, of getting everybody – a roster spot somehow, even though you have all those different guys, you'd be like, where does he fit in? But they usually figure it out.
Yeah.
Or the best guys wrestling. Or
then you have Kassar, who just shows that a little patience sometimes goes a long way when you cap off a career with a
national
title.
Yeah. So I think that I don't know what Penn State's gonna do. It'll be tough. I mean, I would think that you would see some people transfer at some point, but I guess Lucas Cochran just transferred to Nebraska. So as I love Lucas. He's the man. So that's a good pickup for them. But I don't know about this weight class.
Have you heard about the new 5-for-5 eligibility?
Yeah, I think
rule?
that's great.
You think it's great? You like
Yeah,
it?
I like it. Yeah, we gave some people the opportunity to go and compete 5 times. Everybody might as well get that opportunity now.
Yeah.
You jealous though?
No,
No?
I'm not jealous. I had my career, and I did my career, and it's over. But my folk style career, at least, I'm back competing in RAF. But yeah, I think the 5-for-5 is going to be sweet. It'll be cool seeing people like not redshirting anymore and just kind of going out. Because what's the rule? You get 5 years from graduation.
No red shirts.
So there's gonna be no red
No
shirts,
medical, no
Olympic.
Olympic.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, red shirts are kind of weird.
Do you think 5 years is enough? Or are people going to last the 5 years? Because I remember, not last, but like everyone into their 5th year was a lot more rare, and now 6th and 7th years and COVID just totally changed everything. But
Yeah.
5 years of folk style is a lot if you're at a high level. No.
Well, I mean, everybody does 5 years of folk style anyway. You just don't wrestle at the nationals, right? Most people, at least me, I redshirted my freshman year and then I did 4 years. But I was still competing. I think that 5 years is like perfect amount.
Yeah.
And I was ready to be done wrestling folk style and like go do something else after my my senior year. I don't know how people stay for
6 and 7
years. Yeah.
So five to you.
I also liked wrestling, but I had to take classes, and because I was taking classes, that's why I wanted to be done. I was like, I'm about done with school.
They weren't going to let you take like one class.
Well, I took
play school.
I took one class my second semester of my senior year. It was English, but yeah, I don't know what the.
If you had to go back to grad school, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
And do
Yeah.
another round of all that to stick around for 6 and 7. So 5 makes sense to you.
5, yeah.
Back to 74, David Carr, it looked like to me, obviously being a kind of a watching from a distance, but at the Open, he was just kind of like, it's like he expected to just be able to take guys down at will. Like, his timing is a very important part of his game and his double leg. And it kind of just looked like to me, he was like, well, I'll just shoot and I'll just take him down. And then somebody like Cam Amin,
Yeah,
it was really good defense, was like, no, you can't just take me down whenever you want. It didn't look like he was quite all there and firing at the right time.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that I don't know if he overlooked these guys, and I was going to say too, like, I feel like a couple years ago when Burroughs and Dake and me all retired, everybody was like, oh, okay, like now like 74 is kind of open or like 79 is open. But I feel like these 2 weight classes are just getting tough again. Mm-hmm. Like they're just, no matter who our rep is, I think they're gonna go compete really well at the World. So these are some great weight classes that I'm excited about, and it's cool. Obviously 79, we're not at the trials, but I'm excited to see that match too with Chance and Levi.
Oh yeah,
I think that'll be an awesome match. So, but yeah, I think with David, he's just super smart and makes adjustments, and win or lose, like he always has a good attitude, and he's gonna go wrestle hard. But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I think that he would probably be the favorite here, but
it'll be interesting to see what they do with the seeds, because, like I would say, David lost twice.
Yeah, that was the Kozak's contention there. I think him and CP were trying to figure it out as they were talking about it, but it's like, you got to give Carr the respect of being in the 5th place match at Worlds, and he's right there, and then he has a bad tournament. But then other guys that didn't enter the Open, you give them credit for not
PJ
taking
Duke
any
might get
losses.
the 1 seed.
Yeah.
He might, even though
He hasn't wrestled at 74 yet.
and he didn't compete at the Open. Like, if David didn't compete at the Open, he would obviously be the undisputed number 1. But because he did, he could have lost the number 1.
Yeah, I don't think that you can seed David number 1 because he lost to 2 different guys in the same field.
He's got head-to-head from a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
How do you seed him number one when these guys are like, I just beat him. We were on the mat weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then who did so Cam Amin, he beat David and then he lost to James Green, or who did he lose to?
Yes, he lost to James Green, and then he took 5th, losing to Joe Seeley
I think Seeley.
on the backside. Yeah, which, hey, a lot of people giving you credit. That was a good call out. Right before
Well, I
the
was
US
just
Open.
I was just shocked because I went out and wrestled him, and I just kind of like, anytime I'm wrestling, I expect to just be able to score whenever I want to score.
Right.
And I couldn't really score on him. And I was like, it was making me mad. And then he was scoring on me, and I'm like, what is happening right now? So I was like, he's good. And I knew that he was going to give anybody that he wrestles trouble, especially like if he believes it and he wrestles hard. So I guess who took second at
Kanan Webster.
at 74? Mm-hmm. Oh, Kanan Webster. Yeah, and he's not wrestling this?
No, I don't know why. He just did Pan Am's.
Yeah. Technically, you can register like the morning of. Like if he shows up and makes weight, like I believe that is allowed. I think we looked up the.
But I think there's a deadline for seeding, so he just won't be seeded,
Yeah.
technically. But
So Joe Seeley might get the 1 seed. Who knows?
yeah, I don't know. It'll be
I don't know
Interesting.
that. Who does the seeding?
to
You?
see. No, I think they have a committee. I'm sure they'll probably use a little bit of the pin rating and then kind of base it and pull around.
I mean,
Okay.
luckily for the committee there, or however they're doing it, none of these brackets are huge, so it shouldn't take forever. They can just kind of vote and go to the next one. You mentioned David Carr's ability to adjust, and I think that's been brought up a bunch. But from your experience and just being around so many high-level guys, what do you see mentally when a guy like that might take a loss or unexpected performance at a tournament, and then they got to rebound not that long after that?
Well, I know that, like, just speaking from experience, anytime I lose, I feel like I get a lot better just from that loss because it makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to just be uncomfortable all the time. So I want to figure out why I lost and what I can do better. So, and I'm sure that he is the same. Anybody mainly is the same way. So you just get back into the. I mean, he has strong faith in God, and like I know that he doesn't places like value as a person in that. So I know that he'll be able to adjust and have a good mindset about it. And I don't think that he's I mean, he's beaten world class people. He almost beat Sidakov. He almost beat he wrestled Valiev, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he almost beat Valiev. So like he's beat the best guys or almost beat the best guys in the world. I don't think that losing 2 matches at the U.S. Open is gonna really affect him.
Yeah,
much.
not
It
derail
shouldn't.
him.
It shouldn't because he is one of the best guys in the world.
Before we move on to heavyweight, I do want to say Christian texted me last night. He officially changed his pick to PJ Duke at this weight.
Officially. Okay.
Put it on the record.
It's been noted.
Because I think he said Carr on Monday's show, but I guess he thought about it more and went PJ. It's tough to predict. It's kind of like you feel like kind of like at 61, how it's like best version of Jax probably wins this weight. It feels like best version of David probably wins this weight. But then again, if PJ just continues to get better and better, he's really good. And so much now it just feels like going with the young guy is almost a safe bet versus the more established guy.
That's what's so exciting about this time is it's like you still have plenty of the vets in there. Zane Rutherford is back. James Green is still doing the thing out there. But then it's like, just look at all the young guys here, and they're just getting started, and you get to follow their whole career. It's exciting.
125, really deep weight. You got guys like Cassiope, Kirkfleet, Jay Aiello entered at heavyweight.
No weight classes in the on the streets.
That's right. Gadiali, both Mirasolas, Hayden Zilmer, Isaac Trumbull, Jimmy Mullen, Mason Paris, Demetrius Thomas, Jordan Wood, Kobe Merrill, Lucas Stoddard is the entire field there at heavyweight. And I said it last time. I don't know. I think I might be on Trumbull here to win this weight.
Trumbull is a good pick there. I think Kirkfleet. I mean, he kind of goes up and down a little bit, but when he's on, I mean, he is just a force at heavyweight.
He's a big dog.
I can't even pick anybody in this weight class. What happens if the Mirasolas wrestle each other? Are they going to wrestle?
And we have twins. We've had let's see, the Stemets wrestled at Cliff
CQLV.
Keen. Yeah.
The Rainies wrestled at
Middle school.
U17 World Team Trials.
Yeah. A real one, not the display or the assembly that they put on.
Yeah. What was that? 24, I think maybe. I can't remember for sure what year that was. But
Can
the
I
one missed
tangent?
weight.
Can I tangent?
Yeah, go.
I was at a clinic this past weekend, and the jiu-jitsu people were telling me that they had two girls that were wrestling from the same, and the one girl didn't want to wrestle the other girl, so the mom was like, "Hey, we got to do rock paper scissors to see who wins." And I was like, that just should never happen. Like, especially like at a youth tournament, like we're not doing, just go wrestle. Like, it doesn't matter if you guys wrestle, every single day in the room. Like, for me, I would, and just talking about this, like, I know like in the past, like people would forfeit to other people, but I'm always wrestling. And, if you're watching, don't let your kids forfeit to each other. Yeah. Even in we've seen it at a college level too.
Yeah, you see a lot of teammates don't wrestle each other.
But I'm like, just go wrestle. Because it's just a wrestling match. Or just do rock, paper, scissors.
Kind of the most famous one was Soldier Salute a couple years ago, where Drake Ayala wrestled Spencer Lee. And apparently they were like, at first they were like, no. And then Drake was like, no, I want to wrestle.
Yeah, you're not going to forfeit.
And then Spencer put it on him and was like, well, he wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to, as you're progressing up, sometimes you want to go test yourself in a different environment. There's the room, right? And then there's the match.
Yeah.
So they really can't, they're different things, right?
Well, it's also like someone has to be like, I forfeit. I think real competitors don't want to, right?
Yeah.
They go,
well, you take the loss then. No, you take the loss.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly.
so.
Yeah, like protecting their ego. But don't protect your ego. Just go wrestle. And if you lose, it'll build your character.
Yeah. And people will appreciate it. Us
Yeah.
as fans, us guys sitting in the stands or wherever.
what do you think of Kobe Merrill? Just a big old hoss.
He's pretty dang good. Is he wrestling?
Yeah.
He's in there.
He's in this weight class. I mean,
Oh, yeah, he is.
He put it on Mason Paris and then lost to Demetrius Thomas at the Open, which that's kind of.
That's weird.
I know.
Well, that kind of felt like a repeat of what was happening with David Carr. You have a guy that's made world teams. I mean, Paris was in the Olympics, and nothing against Kobe Merrill or nothing against Demetrius Thomas, but those look like kind of odd losses, the two right after each other.
I mean, I guess if I don't know, it seems like Paris would be the favorite in this week. Is he the favorite?
I mean, he just lost to Kobe, and he got teched by Kobe Merrill. It was not close. So.
Yeah, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, well, that's this Open had a couple, 74 and 125, both had those things where you're like, okay, well, it's David Carr and Mason Paris are your first initial thoughts, and you're like, well, just a few weeks ago in Vegas, we saw a different outcome of the same guys, basically. So,
And now Kobe is very, I don't know if I want to say one-dimensional, but you know what he's going to do, right? He's going to take ground and try and push you out or force you into a bad shot with his pressure and then go behind. That's what he's going to do. That one, though, and why I think maybe Mason won't beat him even if he makes adjustments, because that style, if somebody is just like stronger than you and that much better, that style can be very hard to stop, even if you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? Something like, like David Carr, maybe it's a little bit easier per se to stop. But if somebody is literally just bigger and stronger than you and can just push you out, run you straight out of bounds, you're like, I know it's coming. I can't stop it.
You got to let him put you into a front headlock.
Put you in a front headlock?
Yes. If this is what I do. If somebody's trying to push me out and I feel like I can't create enough pressure to drive back into him, I'm not just gonna let him push me out. I'll go in front headlock, and then we'll wrestle underneath there. And then don't let him go behind you. And you don't give.
That's simple.
And then if you don't let him go behind you,
like
then he can't score on you.
And especially with the grounded now not being a thing anymore, like that was huge for Kobe, because a lot of his step out points came from that front headlock position. Yeah, because Mason would go down or he'd snap him down and then just drive him forward and out of bounds. Nothing really Mason could do.
All right.
Yeah, what have you seen from this new the enforcement of the step out rule? Are you a fan?
I'm a big fan of it.
More in the past.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was never one that was just going down into that. I feel like I was one of the more aggressive wrestlers, and I would get people to the edge and drive them out, and it would be grounded time after time. So I like the rule because I feel like it favors the aggressor.
Yeah,
obviously. So And I don't think that you should be able to go down to your knees and just get pushed out on your knees and then not have a point. So I think it's a perfect rule.
You in favor of step out in folk style?
No.
No?
No, I'm not a favor of I'm not a fan of the step out rule in folk style. I know a lot of people are. I like wrestling on the edge personally. I feel like I think it's fun to wrestle on the edge, but I know I get why people want to push out because
This is a pro push-out podcast. You're on an island.
I know that, and that's why I'm sitting over here. No, but I don't think it would be like terrible, but then you just don't see the wrestling on the edge. Then you'd see the wrestling in the middle.
Do you think stalling should be called differently? Because that's usually what.
So I feel like I don't even know what they should do with stalling. I feel like it's like not good, but I don't know if there's a fix to it.
Right. You think savvy wrestlers are going to figure out where those spots are where you cannot get called for stalling? And
I think they should just call stalling if you're stalling, and not like if you step out of bounds, like for a second, and then the ref calls like if the guy's taking 4 or 5 shots and you haven't shot yet, it should be stalling. But I don't
reasonable.
I don't think that. And if you're like everybody knows who's stalling, I think. I don't know.
Also,
We can tell.
don't be afraid to toss up a double stall.
Toss up the double stall if they're not doing anything.
Two guys sometimes they're just looking at each other, in collar ties and hanging out.
Yeah.
Push them all closer to that DQ level.
Yeah.
And say, hey, if you're not wrestling, then someone's taking the L.
I think it should be called more, but then people will be upset because they'll think that the refs are getting involved in trying to decide the matches.
That is the rub. It's like,
It's like
the more the stalls are called, the more the refs are involved. And
More influence they have.
well, with really good refs, you feel good there. But we're talking a lot of tournaments, a lot of refs, a lot of wrestling.
yeah. So I think that it could get out of control.
Yeah, I think there's
That's why I think it's hard. I don't know what you do.
There's definitely if it was that easy to fix, I don't think we'd be talking about it, right?
Yeah.
All right, before we get to questions, Spade, do we have some super chats?
Yeah, we do. I've been saving them here. Let me put them up here for our.
Well, you pull that in. I'll shout out our friends at athleteps.com, Nike Wrestling. They're friends of the show, sponsors of this show. So please go and support them. Support people who support wrestling, and Nike does that. Go to athleteps.com, get shoes, shirts, gear,
this
whatever
shirt
else
here?
you need. Yeah, that shirt right there. Boom.
Nike Wrestling, not bad. Pretty good. All right, so our first super chat, I don't know if that's being pulled in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Based on y'all's understanding of 5 for 5, if a wrestler turns 19 in early August of their senior year in high school, does that mean their eligibility clock has started since they'd be 20 before their college freshman year?
As long as they don't turn 25 before.
They graduate.
No, not before you graduate. It's the first, before you graduate. Yes.
Yeah, you have to be. It's 19 to 24 are your years, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they would still be good with 5 years.
Yeah, and that was for $9.99, 2 footlongs at the old price. So thank you, OSU Wrestling, Brad.
Thanks, Brad.
Yeah, appreciate you, Brad. The next one is we got some excited folks that you're here in the building, Jason.
Okay.
So this one's for you.
Hawk for life, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, you crossing the
Hawkeyes.
divide here, bringing people together in the wrestling community. Burke Hawk for life, $20. So that'll feed everybody here in this room, including Marco.
That paid for our bananas this morning.
Yeah. Nolf is/was, I would just say is, a scorer. With it being so hard to score these days, how would you advise current wrestlers who are not scoring and are hesitant to shoot? Is it more important to improve technique or to get rid of the mental block?
I think both things are important. I think that people just try to have a perfect setup before they attack, and they're afraid to shoot because, well, I guess why would you be afraid to shoot? You don't want to get reattacked or you don't want to get spun behind. But if you get really good at never letting people spin behind you, then there's not as much of a risk to shoot. Right? If they're not going to go behind you and you shoot and you miss, then you're in front headlock. But so I would prioritize spending time underneath the front headlock and finishing extended single legs. That's what we're working right now at our club, Nolf Wrestling Academy, is just finishing when you get extended on a single leg. Because if you're confident, I would work on 2 things. I would work on your finishes nonstop, and I would work on wrestling underneath front headlock, because if no one can spin behind you, then they're not going to score on you. And then if you finish every time you're on the leg, then you're going to be a lot more confident to shoot and get to the legs, because you're like, okay, if I shoot 1,000 times in a match and I get to his leg 7 times, I'm getting 7 takedowns. So that's kind of my mindset, is that if I can get my hands locked on the leg, I'm scoring. And Jody Strip Matter used to, when we had like the travel camp in Iowa, growing up for Young Guns, and I'd be wrestling a match, be like, hey, you got to his leg 12 times and you finished 7, so just over 50%. Let's get that finishing percentage up to 90%.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, now I want to. So now, like I encourage people to just like track your stats. Like, watch your match again. How many times you get to their leg? How many times you finish? And if you're finishing only 50% of the time or less than that, then you need to get way better at finishing. So, yeah, I just think that those have been I don't ever feel like I'm gonna get spun behind, and I don't think I'm gonna get reattacked, and I know I can finish when I get to their legs. So that's kind of my mindset. Why not shoot?
Yeah. And if I were to advise Burke Hawk for life, he's got some wrestlers, I would say send to Austin 2-3 year Nolf pack and forget.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
Danaher is really big on that. Like, he's like, put yourself in the worst positions that way, and like get proficient getting out of them. He talks about it in jiu-jitsu specifically.
Yeah.
Obviously, because that's his thing. But he's like, if you get comfortable in the worst positions, then you will have no fear.
Yeah, and that's what I did too. You know, growing up, I wanted to get good when people were on my legs. I wanted to be able to score every time somebody attacked on me too. So I would let somebody get to my legs in practice, and then I would let them lift it up in the air, wrestle from the treetop position, do it like wrestle in all those different positions, so that I could scramble and be able to get out of those. And then, I mean, my dad just stayed on me my whole life too. Like if we went through practice and I wasn't shooting a lot, he would just let me know. Like, you need to shoot more. You need to shoot more, and you just like consistent, like keep attacking. And the more you attack, the more you score. It's just simple. If you like Bo Bassett, the machine gun mindset. If you just shoot once, like a rifle, you might get it, you might not. But if you shoot 1,000 times in a match, you're gonna get to the legs and you're gonna score. So yeah, just get really good, not letting people spin behind you, and not letting people reattack, and then you have nothing to fear.
There you go. Burke Hawk is very appreciative in the chat. Says you're one of the goats.
Not as appreciative as Chunky York.
No, this is
Chuck York.
Chuck York, we need a round of applause.
Yeah, thanks, Brad.
$2.99. $200. $99's the max.
Dang.
Chucky York, or Chuck, I've met him. He's a super fan. He's a Pennsylvanian, so he's a big supporter of Penn State wrestling. So I'm sure that had something to do with how enthusiastic he's been here. And yeah, I think we need to get you a piece of this somehow to let you wet your beak, because I don't think we'd be getting $200 from Chuck if it wasn't for having Jason here. Okay, half for footlongs, and JD needs to buy $50 in Tabasco Slim Jims for the Vice President of Wrestling Community Development, which is Sion's new title, which I'm so glad to see him finally get recognition for all he does for the community and the development of it. So yeah, Slim Jims and footlongs. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck,
for setting a record. That's now the challenge for all the
biggest. Is that the biggest ever?
Because it was 2 in a row. 99 is the max, so he maxed out at 99 with no message, and then the next one was.
Wait, he did 2 of these?
He did. He gave us $200.
Dang,
that's why I said we got.
Chuck gave $200.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, showing off.
You gotta step it up, Brad.
Chat, we appreciate all of you, but we appreciate you most of all. Thank you for that. Awesome. Yeah, that'll keep us fed for a while.
Any other super chats, or should we go to?
That was the 3 super chats so far. Nothing left but our broke boys, but we love them too.
Yes, we do. You want to pull in these questions from Twitter?
Yeah, let's get the questions with friends. Let's see. This is up here. This is my my Kozak impression. And nope, that was that.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll pull it up. So that was the question. Did you like these?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one that you liked is this one. And I will pull it up here.
You got this, Bay. Boom, there we go.
Mossman, number 30, says, any new Flow films on the horizon? Have you guys ever considered doing one on RPW? Do you know what that stands for, Jason?
That stands for real powerful wrestling.
So close.
Real pro wrestling.
Real pro wrestling.
This was in the early 2000s. It was based on the model of American Gladiators, in that they shot it all in like a soundstage and they wanted to syndicate it as like a season and have it, played over wherever. They got 2 seasons in. The people that were there that remember it, I barely remember it happening. But there are some fanatics out there that have a lot of the memorabilia. I like guys like Bono and Schwab and Cormier and a lot of that generation. I remember there's matches you can find on YouTube. But it would make a great documentary, I assume.
It also reminds me, Jason, you got a RAF match coming up with Minto. That's going to be a good match. Minto's tough.
He is tough. Yeah, he's big too. So it'll be fun. I'm surprised he's not wrestling freestyle this summer, but I'm excited that he's an ocean athlete, so he's got an instructional in ocean. So I'll already have a ton of respect for him. He's the man.
He's already on the team.
He's already a part of the team, so just gonna go out and wrestle, have fun. But it should be good. I'm excited for it. I told the RAF guys, I said I want to wrestle guys I've never wrestled before, and I want to wrestle these. I'll wrestle the young guys coming up. I'll wrestle, Takatani or whoever, but I just want to wrestle guys that I've never wrestled before because I like to do that. It's fun, and I don't want to wrestle the guys I've always wrestled. So that's kind of they're like, hey, I have a guy. Ben called me. I have a guy you've never wrestled before, Chris Minto. I'm like, all right, let's go, let's do it.
At least they called you because didn't for the Blaze one they just signed you up for it basically?
Well, I'm not. I was
You
ready.
don't say no though.
Yeah, I was ready. I was ready for that match. That was a good one too. Thought I wrestled pretty good. Just keep getting better and. But yeah, the events. I know they signed Chimaev's wrestling in June. Hamzat against Dylan
Dennis. Yep,
that is not good.
There's going to be some extracurriculars.
Yeah, that's not good. But and I know they got. I won't make any announcements for them, but I know they got some cool stuff coming up.
Nice.
But I'm excited. I mean, I want to wrestle pretty much as much as I can. I can't wrestle in June, but I want to wrestle in May, and then I want to wrestle in July, August. Just keep it rolling.
Yeah, and just anybody you've never wrestled before, anybody in mind? I don't want to ruin a call out that you might be making. But
I don't have anybody specific in mind.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it'd be fun to wrestle some of the Penn State guys, but I don't want to do that too, just because they're my friends and.
But hey, you
maybe
said
down the road.
No forfeits. No,
Yeah.
You're gonna if it's twins,
wrestle,
if it's
yeah.
teammates, if it's another ocean athlete.
Yeah. I think like PJ would be a fun match. Mitchell would be a fun match.
Mitchell would be fun. You versus Mitchell.
Yeah, but those matches probably won't happen, but they'd be fun. Me and Zane always talked about wrestling when we were in college, so that would be a fun match.
What would the catch weight have to be? How close can you get to Zane?
We'd probably just do 175.
Yeah, and he would just
He'd be like, I'm wrestling 170. I walk around on 175, 176. So I'm also in a position in wrestling where I'm just don't want to cut weight anymore.
Sure.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna wrestle whatever I weigh. And if they don't, like I wanted to wrestle Caliendo, but he wanted to wrestle 165. So I said I'm not making one. I could probably make 165 actually now. It'd be easier now than it was for 74 kilos when I was competing. But I'm just
you're just not doing
interested
it.
in. I'm not interested in cutting weight. So, but yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited for it.
And when's that one? When's that next match?
May 30th.
May 30th.
Dallas.
Coming up. Oh yeah, Dallas.
In a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think I know Bader's talking about going because it's close enough to driving and take his girls.
Might as well.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. It's weird living in a big state like Texas. I'm used to the Northeast where it's like 4.5 hours. You're in like 4 different states.
Yeah.
Here it's like, well, that'll get you to Dallas, one of the nearest big cities. So
yeah, if you guys, if people have not been to an RAF match, you should go because it's a ton of fun. It's one of the coolest. Like it's kind of compares to the similar stage of like competing in the NCAA championship. NCAA championship is obviously it's awesome, the best, but RAF is the whole show production, the walkout. Like I like that I walk out through the crowd, so they'll put me in the crowd and then I'll walk out, slap people's hands. Like I always liked watching the WWE growing up. So, and even when I was done wrestling in college, I'm like, man, I should have done more with my walkouts. I should have like walked out with like a briefcase or something like that.
Yeah, had some sort of hook,
Airway.
something
Yeah.
memorable where where people are like, oh, that's your thing.
Yeah, because then like it just gets the crowd into it. And honestly, like we wrestle because it's fun and like we enjoy it. But when you're competing, wrestling teaches you just to be like so locked in and like basically not ignore like the crowd. Like I fed off the energy of the crowd, but I wasn't gonna try to like please the crowd with my walkouts or anything in the past. But now I like to do that.
Yeah, get creative. I
yeah.
think there's a lot more of that. I mean, RAF is influencing like wrestling in general, and then you have what what a lot of the big programs have been doing. Iowa, Penn State, Oklahoma State, especially now recently with their walkouts. It's like everybody's trying to outdo each other, and it's great for the fans because now we get more spectacle and like more showmanship. With the fact that it's still wrestling, so it's still a serious business.
Yeah, I remember wrestling at Penn State too, and sometimes that's why I really liked wrestling at Bryce Jordan Center because I felt like the Bryce Jordan Center and most Penn State wrestlers liked wrestling at Rec Hall better, but I liked wrestling at the BJC because there was more lights and like they would turn the lights off whenever you're doing your walkout, a spotlight on you, and I just liked that whole show. At Rec Hall, I kept trying to tell them turn the music up.
Yeah,
I'm like, why is the
let's
music?
pump things up a little bit.
Yeah, why is the music so quiet on my walkout? I want it to be like bumping in here.
Yeah, fans are looking for something to cheer for. That's what I've discovered.
The problem with Penn State is I don't think we have a bunch of older fans too, and I don't think they want the music as loud.
And they put in a request.
Yeah,
ones that pay for the top dollar tickets.
Yeah, please keep the music down. We're here for the wrestling.
Just the wrestling.
We only care about the wrestling.
Yeah,
And those guys have had season tickets for a long time.
yeah, they hold on
Penn
to
State
those.
people are loyal. Yeah.
They do the I don't know if you call it the growl or the roar. They do that loud.
Yeah, yeah.
In there.
Yeah, the Nittany Lion
Yeah.
roar. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next question, JD. That you.
But
oh yeah, go ahead.
no flow films right now. I don't think.
Oh yeah, to the original question.
that we went off on a tangent.
Yeah, there'll be more stuff along the way. I think you'll see a lot more shorter films, just more stuff
Like what Tyler does.
what Tyler's doing, like when you guys went and did all the top high school wrestling events.
Which coming soon.
Coming soon, and
Be on
still
the lookout.
more follow-alongs, more stuff when we're at big events. And
Yep.
yeah, we're not done. We're leaning into video as much as ever, but the longer, bigger productions may be fewer and far between. But we'll see. Next question from Detroit Style Pizza's number one. I don't know. This is Kozak propaganda. This is Kozak's burner.
This might be Kozak's burner.
Yeah. What are your Tuesday headlines? Mine is Tay wins World Team Trials. That would be quite a headline.
That is. So if you don't know, we used to do a bit Tuesday headlines. We would do it on the Thursday or Friday show before the weekend, and it would be like make some outlandish prediction. That's like the big headline you read ahead of when we had shows on Tuesdays. Then would be our next show. So if I have to make like an outlandish prediction, if I have to, I'm not saying it's gonna come true, but I'll go with Evan Wick wins World Team Trials.
That'd be wild.
Makes Final X.
I mean, just making 74 kilos to me
Yeah.
is a headline-worthy achievement.
6'4" man
Yeah.
wins.
He's so
74
tall.
kilos.
So tall.
You know what I think would be wild? I was looking at, I was doing the college fan guide, so you can go check that out. That's live on the site of all the different college associations, or just where you went to. So it's not so much what clubs you're training at now. And Iowa's got somebody at a lot of different weights, and I think it would be interesting if it's like Iowa's revenge, and they come back and it's like Spencer, DeSanto. I mean, that's obviously a crazy bracket, but that would make headlines. And then Caliendo at 74. Put 3 more guys in Final X for the Hawk fans.
That would be big.
That would be big.
They got Cassiope too.
They got Big Cass. He's a
he was former
associate head
Hawkeye.
coach now at
Yeah, at
Wisconsin. So
Wisconsin.
that's and then and I don't know what happens with Jordan Williams. We got to wait and see. I think
Oh yeah.
he may come back to Iowa, may not. I don't have any intel.
Iowa just wins every weight here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Hawkeyes are due for some good news. So that was it there. I don't know if you have any outlandish predictions you want to throw out there, Jason. It could be literally anything.
Could be anything. Lucas Stoddard.
There you go.
Lucas Stoddard, Army
Yeah,
Wrestling.
Lucas
Here
Stoddard.
we go.
Let's go, Army.
Yeah, support the troops. I like
Support the
that.
troops.
All right, we got another question here. This one is a little inside baseball, a little, I don't know if anybody's been following this on Twitter, but InfaRest ran a tournament, and Flo White Knight, thank you for white knighting us, Flo White Knight. It appears that Piles, Spey, and Kozak all lost in the Info Wrestling X/Twitter bracket.
Dang, dude, what the heck?
That's tough.
You didn't put on for us?
You guys not trained for this event, or has age caught up with the Flow Bros? Yeah, I don't know. I think Twitter, you can be ageless in there, but we just ran into some buzzsaws. The Low Single took me out, which
that's a good Low Single's tough.
they're active. I mean, they put in the work in Twitter, so it's almost like, how badly did I want to campaign? And then it's like he's got a community of Cowboy fans that are a little bit more dialed into than whatever goofy garbage space.
And I think there are only 100 votes total, so
yeah,
it's easy to sway. I think that if you really wanted to, you could have.
I mean, I could have gone on to the Flow. I mean, I'm on the Flow account right now. I could have put my thumb on the scale, but I wanted it to be an honest one. And
Man in the arena. Man in the arena.
Yeah.
Respect.
JD, you're not as active in.
Who did Piles lose to?
Jagger.
Jagger. Who's Jagger?
Ian, I think.
Wow.
He's
upset.
Yeah,
Piles should have won that one.
It was he was kind of like a funny
Christian
account.
should have
He kind of went trolling, and then I think he's back to just chilling. I don't know. And then Kozak.
Is that the guy with the cigarette in his mouth?
I think it might be his avatar. Yeah, smoking darts on wrestling Twitter. Why not? And Kozak lost to an account I've never heard of before. No offense to that account. I'm just one I didn't know.
Dang, getting upset left and right.
I think there's just a bunch of haters.
Tough look for us.
Haters.
Well, that's kind of what Twitter is for. I mean, it gets more engagement the more people are angry.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, hey, if that's how we got to get over on Twitter, then that's what we'll do.
It is the X app where everything happens, though.
Yep. All right, we got a couple more questions. We got time, I think. And this one is from the Cradle Zone. He was in this tournament. Do we see Sinclair become an Olympic champ in 2028?
2028 seems maybe a little early because you think Zahid and Kyle Dake will still be at 86 kilograms, but one day?
I wrestled with Aiden at before the last RAF. He helped me get down to weight. He helped me lose my half a pound. And I wrestled, and I was pretty impressed with him too.
He's really good.
Yeah, he was really hard to get to his legs. He's a great scrambler. He's young. How old is he? 20?
Yeah. This was his freshman year.
Yeah, so, I mean, I wouldn't say no. I would say definitely not.
And I will say, go watch Tyler's most recent video that came out Friday last week or maybe Thursday. It's an Aiden piece, and you will like Aiden Sinclair. I'm not saying you will predict him to be an Olympic champion in 2028, but you will come away from that film liking him.
He's one of the nicest kids I've ever met.
He's kind of just a little goofball.
Yeah, he's a goofball, yeah.
The way he started it off is so funny with Aiden trying to say something nice to all the competitors, and he goes, "Yeah, your heart goes out for all the losers." and Tyler like zooms in like a quick cut to all the losers out there. But anyway, it was a great tournament, and he's just happy, loves to wrestle, so you love to see that. And I also got to shout out Not a Wrestler on Twitter. That's who beat Kozak. It was Kozak's first opponent that he barely squeaked by that I did not know. But Not a Wrestler is a good account. You should follow him. And that is the end of our Infa Twitter battle segment. Okay, strength and scrapping. Ask one for Jason here. Do you have any interest in getting on a college staff, or are you all in on club coaching and Athletes Ocean?
Yeah, I'm all in on what I'm doing with Ocean. We're growing really fast. We, and I saw somebody else tweeted, like, you guys should do some type of product for school subscriptions and stuff. And I'm like, we do. It's like, but I don't tweet enough. I should have tweeted back at them. I'm like, we do have a subscription to help you manage your team. But yeah, I'm all in on my club. We just opened a new location at Westlake High School. So
nice. We
have 2 locations now. Gonna try to add some more days to the week of practice. I just want my kids to be wrestling as much as possible, and so I'm kind of expanding across the city of Austin already, and it's been great. Honestly, I have like the best parents in the world. The parents are great with their kids. They're not overbearing. Like if you go into Pennsylvania or New Jersey or any wrestling state, like the parents can get pretty crazy and like kind of freaking out on their kids, but we do a good job too, our coaching staff. So we just added Marco Vespa to our team as well. But John Broughton, me, and then maybe Gino will join us as well. But we do a good job of kind of like setting a standard with the parents. And just one of the things the parents said to me is like just leading by example. So when a kid comes off the mat, we're not screaming at them. You see club coaches, even like in Texas, like screaming at their kids or like yelling at them and telling them that they're doing a terrible job and stuff. Like, we never do that as a club. So I feel like the parents are looking at us, and then they're not going to do that either. So just doing a good job of setting. But the parents have been a blessing for us. So it's been cool to work with them, and the kids are awesome.
So the goal is Nolf, your club grows wrestling in Austin so much so that in a generation or two, then the parents can be as obnoxious as the Pennsylvania.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right now, they don't know how good they have.
We want to change the way wrestling works down here in Austin. So if you got anybody who wants to move to Austin, be a part of our club, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to recruit.
Yeah,
I can recruit to a club.
It's true.
You can use FR. There's no recruiting violations for using the pulpit here at FRL.
So, but yeah, that's all I'm focused on right now. I obviously, like, coaching is a massive, like, I would like to coach, but coaching is such a massive commitment that to do it right, at least you have to be, that's got to be like your full-time thing. And I'm just not in a position where I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
Just want to stick with what I'm doing and grow the club and grow Ocean. So, yeah.
How many athletes are you now part of Ocean that are showing technique? Because I saw Pat Smith in one of the latest ones
Pat Smith
posted, and I was like, hey, let's get some Greco action.
Yeah, we're getting some Greco action. We need to get a Greco parterre. Need to go back to Pat, see if he'll film another one. We have over 160 instructionals now on our platform. John has been doing a great job of like video operations. So now we have videographers across the country that are filming for us, and we don't have to go directly to them and send John out. And so we've been working on that, and now we're filming, I don't know, we might have been filming like 5 to 10 a week for the last couple weeks ever since the season ended. So we got a lot that we're still about to release.
And building out that library.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good for growth. He's obviously, and in every instructional we'll get like 10 social media clips that we can put out, and so it's just good for content, good for growth. And I had a guy send me a nice text too the other day that he basically said, like, hey, like, I thought I was wrong whenever you retired. I thought that that was a bad decision on your side because you were so young and you had all this potential, but now, like, you're growing Ocean and impacting a lot of kids, and you have a successful club and your father, and you're competing at RAF now. So, like, he's like, I was wrong. I was like, yeah, I mean, you never know, be willing to take risks in your life. And yeah, I mean, I could have been comfortable just kind of staying in state college and competing, and I would have still been having fun and stuff. But I've always wanted to, like, grow myself as a person and kind of expand and, not just be a wrestler, but, be more than that. And I'm kind of, I have a business mindset too. So just trying to, like, grow all my different businesses. And, part of that was taking a risk and moving down to Austin, but it's paid off pretty good so far. So thank God. So
the entrepreneurial spirit is strong in Central Texas.
It is, yeah.
And the wrestling community gets the benefit as a result of your desire to be somewhere that does support its entrepreneurs.
Yep.
So glad to hear. That all sounds awesome. We got another one here from Strength and Scrapping, not directed at Jason, but seems like guys with a big cut often fall off hard in March, thinking about how much different Buzakis looked at NCAAs versus the rest of the season. Would it make sense just to have guys like that only make weight for an early tournament, a holiday tournament, and then postseason?
No.
I don't want them to make weight.
I disagree with this statement. I don't know what other schools are doing, but the hardest weight cut for me was the first wrestle off at Penn State of the year. Then it gets easier as we go throughout the season, right? It's most difficult coming from summer, fall to get into the wrestling get into your weight for the wrestling season. And I always, by the time nationals was around, like making weight was easy, even though it was extremely difficult at the beginning of the year. So I don't know if it's the weight cut or if it's people just want to be done wrestling because they're tired. And obviously it's in high school, you're still growing. So the weight cut can get harder in high school because you're like going through different changes in your life. But in college, like most of that is like done. But yeah, I don't think it's the weight cut as much as like people are just, ready to eat pizza and
Well, that's
they're ready
kind
to be
of
done.
Yeah.
it's kind of because of the weight cut. Though that's what I was gonna say. Is like kind of depends on how you do it. If you're yo-yoing quite a bit hard, if you're not doing it right, that's when I feel like it's not as much physical as it is like mental fatigue. By the end, where you're like, dude, I'm so over doing this every week. I do not want to cut weight again because I've been doing it now for, if you're in college, 4 months.
Which I didn't want to cut weight either. I was like, it was still hard, but yeah, I think it's like
It's a lot
exactly
easier
what you're
to-
saying. It's mental.
Yeah, well, it's also probably a little bit easier to cut weight when you're like, next topic, undefeated, just kicking everyone's ass, like easy.
Yeah.
when you have like a 500 record, and you have to wrestle it's a lot harder to cut weight.
Yeah. I could see that.
Certainly adds a little extra element to it. Do you think the season, you ever thought, just from a weight cutting perspective, like the season should be shorter, like it's a lot of weigh-ins, maybe shave a month or so off?
I don't know. I've heard that they should start wrestling in January and then wrestle through April.
Right. I think that's come up a bunch. So that would that would shrink it a little bit, and it would move NCAAs off of March Madness.
Yeah. I think that would be good, but I don't know if they'll do that.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving
First
pieces.
time down to weight immediately post Christmas break. Oof.
Yeah, you got to stay on your game
That would be
during the
tough,
holidays.
but what's tough if like the first tournament was like middle of January, kind of the way it is with like I guess when's it start now? Middle of November, first tournament.
First of November, first weekend of November.
Yeah. So if it was like middle of January, that you can still like enjoy Christmas.
Yeah, you get a couple weeks there to come
like
back.
in wrestling season. Until I stopped wrestling, I was never able to like just enjoy eating and everything over
Holidays are different.
Yeah, it's just Thanksgiving even you just can't eat as much. So I think that would be a good move, but
I knew so in Iowa, at least when I was in high school, the first week that you can have competitions is like right after Thanksgiving, I believe. And I knew a family in Iowa that would move their Thanksgiving up a week because they were a wrestling family, so that they could
I like
eat a
that.
little bit more.
I like that.
yeah, why not?
That's a smart family.
That is smart.
Yeah. We were a football family, so it was like you had to wait for football season to end and then have Thanksgiving, and then upper weights we weren't cutting much. So yeah, we still enjoyed our Thanksgiving. All right,
question.
we got another question here. Philip Puckett, no relation to Kirby, I don't believe. Last show, y'all said the spanking problem went back to nickel. But does no one remember Cormier spanking Rollins at Real Pro Wrestling back in 04 or 05?
I did not.
Yeah, this
remember
was.
but I went back and watched it.
I think we can pull it up,
Clip.
right?
Yeah, pull this in. This is actually, I will say, almost better because Daniel is so disrespectful that he's not even like trying to hide it. He's purposely being disrespectful.
Yeah, no, he's like, this is not a cute way of saying good match sport. This is okay. Here you go. Boop,
Are they
boop,
wearing
boop.
tight shorts with no shirt?
Yep. Oh, does this? It's
I'm not sure if that's coming through.
Oh, it's not. I pushed the wrong one.
Reference.
Here we go.
Spay.
I'm trying to live in two worlds at once, two different computers.
Dang, Cormier is kind of tough, huh?
Yeah,
but
the
this is
actual
the
wrestling clip
uniforms.
is actually great.
They did just the
This is
fight
the
shorts,
wrestling.
and they had it in like a studio soundstage.
So Cormier takes him down and then pop, pop, pop,
And
pop,
there's
pop,
the
pop.
little. I think I can do full screen so we can show it.
Who's that? Rollins?
Yeah, Tommy Rollins.
Get back on that.
Which Tommy got to come up swinging after that.
And then
You just can't
and here we go.
Another grown
1,
man spank
2,
you like
3,
that.
4, 5, 5.5 spanks.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, different world before social media.
And then Bo had what on Zahid?
Yeah, he spanked Zahid when he beat him
How
at
many
the
times?
trials.
Yeah,
4?
He might
times?
not have reached Cormier's number.
He might not have reached Cormier.
It might have been less spankage.
And then Kanan.
Cannon spanked a man at Pan Am's this past week.
Pan Am man.
Was that a tough match? I didn't watch that match.
No, he teched him.
He teched him? Why'd he spank him?
I don't know. That's a great question.
That was kind of the whole thing. Was like, what are we doing?
I saw he
It was Ecuador.
apologized on the.
Did he?
Apologized on the comment section.
I think he was just fired up.
Yeah, he said he was mad.
Yeah, he was. Cannon's got some fire.
Though. Yeah, I liked the fire.
He was very ferocious at U.S. Open. I just remember like before and after matches and everything.
Well, his match with James Green, it was like so anticlimactic because I feel like he was like mounting a comeback, and then what happened? James was bleeding.
Yeah.
And I feel like he just kept bleeding. And I was like,
the stoppage.
It's not like Green's fault, but it's like that sucks because we were missing the wrestling. And when it just changes the match completely.
Yeah. I feel like unless it's, I mean, I've said this before, I don't know if I might be missing something, but unless it's like causing a slip hazard on the mat, the blood. Like if it's like a little bit of a bloody nose or whatever, just keep wrestling.
Yeah.
And I would love to see if someone runs the numbers like, okay, you're more susceptible to bloodborne diseases or something, whatever. But you can just look at UFC and MMA.
Yeah.
There's no blood stoppages. Are those guys getting more,
I think they're doing that in RAF. They're trying not to do, unless it's like severe blood, like just to keep the wrestling going.
Because guys get these little nosebleeds, and then you're just stopping every time. It's like the whole point of the match. I don't know. That's just me.
Just let the blood flow.
Yes, that could be RAF's new slogan.
Let the blood flow.
Yeah, you sell some tickets with that. All right, now we have another question for Jason. Strength and Scrapping, getting a few questions in. Which non-PSU college guys do you currently love to watch compete?
Non-PSU college guys. I mean, I like the Oklahoma State guys, all of them. I mentioned Jax. I like Davino. Who else is in college? Well, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of guys.
Just some names.
Rabidou.
Yep.
Vega.
Yep.
Vega
has come in to do a clinic at Nolf Wrestling Academy this weekend.
Nice.
At Westlake. So
better teach some defense because freshman NCAA champion did not get taken down this year.
I was going to say, is that
insane?
That should be the challenge when he's at that camp. Is like, can anybody take him down? Because you get it. That's
one
better
will be
than
able to.
anybody at the NCAA.
let me think. I like watching Nebraska guys compete. I like watching. I'm actually more of a fan of wrestling now than I ever was.
Right.
When I was competing, I never even watched wrestling, but now I get to like sit back and enjoy it as a fan. I never thought I would, but I do.
It is interesting. The perception changes when you're not going to practice and you're not.
Well, you don't have to when you're not doing that for like a job, and you can kind of disassociate. When you're in it, you're like, I need a break from this. I can't let this be all I think about all the time. And now you can just chill and just watch wrestling. And it rules.
It does rule. Okay. Shocked FRL says, just watched the Duel of the Century. Is Jason sad he missed it? I was.
I feel like that's what made it the Duel of the Century, though. Is that they're talking about Penn State, Ohio State 2018?
I assume so.
Yeah. I'm definitely sad I missed it. I would have loved to be in that duel. My friend Bo Pfeiffer got to wrestle at 157, but I feel like that's what made the duel exciting because if I'd wrestled, if I'd got a tech fall, then we would have won by 10 points.
Right.
So, but then, if I wrestled, maybe that changed the result of a different match too.
Sure.
You never know. But that was one of the most insane duels of all time.
We were just talking about it last show because we were talking about lat drops and when Kyle tried the lat drop Neville's.
Yeah.
In there because he was just going for the pin.
That was sick. Those are two of my best friends too. So, Neville's, we were like celebrating him. We're like, you didn't get tagged. Let's go. You're the man.
I know.
That's the beauty of dual meets, right?
Yeah.
Those little things where it's like, in a tournament, you'd just be like, all right, whatever, off the mat. Who cares?
You got 2 takedowns on Snyder. He clutched up.
Yeah. Crazy.
Tremendous. Yeah, that was so much fun to watch. It was the Super Bowl, but,
I need to go back and watch that. Is that on Flow? Or where
that'll be BTN.
You it's on YouTube.
YouTube. BTN is pretty good about putting stuff on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
So the Pirates.
Yeah. Okay. And I heard we were able to go long from Amanda, so we can keep asking questions. I think we got you wrote this out, JD, right? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I saw it. So we got some lineups.
205 David says hypothetical question: 2020 Iowa versus 2026 Penn State.
So we can just run through this kind of quick. Spencer Lee versus Luke Little. I think you got to go Spencer. DeSanto.
Although we just saw it.
Why do you gotta go
Headlock.
Spencer?
I know. I mean, folk style.
Folk style?
Folk style. In college, Spencer is one of the best all-time 125ers.
2020 Spencer.
2020 Spencer.
That was pre ACL, Spencer,
Well,
or post? No,
It was a Hodge Trophy season.
yeah, half a Hodge Trophy
So
season.
that was his freshman year. That was his freshman year.
Wasn't
No.
it junior? Because there was the year in between.
Well, I graduated in 2019. Oh, is Spencer competing when I was?
I think you guys were that 1 year.
Okay. Yeah. So that was his sophomore year or junior year?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
I
pretty
don't know.
good.
I'd go Spencer.
I think probably good. I think he'd go Spencer.
I mean, obviously you can't say it's a lock because we just saw a Luke win.
Yeah.
In freestyle, but I think Vegas would have Spencer as the. Let's call it 3 points.
Spencer, DeSanto versus Blaze. I'd go Blaze. Mirren versus Braden Davis. That's a fun match. And
That's a scrap, is what that is.
I know.
That is.
those two are gonna fight. I don't know who I'd lean. I guess maybe Mirren.
I think a 41. Because it's 41, and I think Davis might be a little better suited at 33. But I don't know. Maybe he's
pretty
full
good.
size
He's
41.
Good this year. I know he didn't have the end he wanted, but like I mean, it's a guy who like was beating Brock Hardy before he got pinned.
I mean, yeah, I could call that a toss. I mean, I'd be fine.
I think this
saying
duel is about to get out of control here a little bit.
I know.
So
So
we'll
we'll
give that one to Murin.
Yeah, we'll give that one to
Yeah.
Mirren. We'll go versus Van Ness. I'd go Van Ness.
Yeah.
Young versus Duke. Got to go Duke. Marinelli versus Mitchell's interesting, but like Mitchell.
Yeah, 2026 Mitchell is not being.
Kemmer versus Haynes might be the matchup of the duel. And I mean, I guess I'll go Levi, but people forget how good Michael Kemmer.
Oh, he's another Young Guns guy.
Yep. Half this roster is Spencer, Max Murin, Caleb Young, Michael Kemmer. All those guys were young guns.
Yeah, what a crop.
That was the Young Guns to Iowa plug
Yeah.
there for a bit.
Could have been me.
Could have been you. Yeah, I'll go Haynes, but I don't know. I feel like those two would go back and forth, kind of like Carter and Kemmer did. That'd be a good rivalry. Wilkie versus Welsh. Got to go Welsh. Warner versus Barr. Cassiope versus Mirasola. Cassiope? I don't know. I'll go Cassiope. But if you go Cassiope, that's still 7-3 in favor of Penn State. So
Yeah,
Penn State takes it.
there's your handiwork, JD, writing out those lineups. I mean, I think that's just, I mean, how crazy it is that Coach Sanderson is able to raise the bar from the killer squads that he's had that won national championships. And now this is what happens when you set records every year at NCAAs and then you top those records. You can do hypothetical matchups and they start to become lopsided victories for Penn State.
Yep.
Yeah, impressive stuff. And I think we got one more. Unless Jason, do you have any questions for the chat?
Do I have any questions for the chat?
You don't have to. I just wanted to make sure you had an opportunity if you had something on your mind.
I don't have anything on my mind, actually.
Well, good, because we got our most important question, wrapping things up from the real Avery Lynch.
I love Texas Roadhouse. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, they're
That's what he said too.
bread.
He said
Okay,
pick 3, and it's like restaurant breads. You got
Texas Roadhouse, 100%.
yeah. He went. Just give me Texas Roadhouse. I don't care about anything else. The Texas Roadhouse rolls.
so the rolls are tremendous. The
It's
red,
the butter that makes the rolls. IMO.
I mean, yeah,
The rolls are ridiculous, and Olive Garden breadsticks are super good too. I wouldn't even want the rest of those. I mean, I like
Cheesecake
bread.
Factory bread.
I like those breads.
I will
I'll
say
eat any of them, but
yeah.
I don't even want them. I want Texas Roadhouse and Olive Garden
I don't even know. I've never. been
and
to
Steiner
one.
Ranch Steakhouse. You guys have been to Steiner Ranch
I have not.
over by Lake Travis? They have really good rolls.
Not yet. Cracker Barrel, those biscuits. If you got a little jelly, a little honey, mix it in there. It's basically dessert. So I'd like to throw one out there for Cracker Barrel. But
Has ever been to a Logan's? I don't think I've ever been to.
I don't know.
I've been to Logan's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a,
Rolls don't compare to
I
Texas.
don't remember them.
nothing memorable, nothing Roadhousey.
I
Well, they
might
are
actually go to Texas Roadhouse on the way back. Marco,
This is the beauty of Avery Lynch.
Texas Roadhouse.
I feel like it's so funny to me going to Texas Roadhouse in Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I feel like you should go to Texas Roadhouse, not in Texas.
Texas land and cattle is pretty
Or
good.
where we're supposed to be. That's actually why I moved here.
Was
to get the
Texas
authentic
Roadhouse?
Texas
We,
Roadhouse.
in Texas, we just call it the Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
All right. That's all we got time for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tune in to World Team Trials tomorrow and Friday. It's kind of early to finals. Friday go down at time. Noon or 1 p.m. our time.
1 p.m. Central.
1 p.m. Central on Friday.
Oh, it's Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, or is it Eastern? Because isn't Louisville in the Eastern?
Louisville's Eastern.
Yeah, might be noon.
I don't know. Like I said, noon or 1. You got to figure out the time zones. But we'll be watching along with you, and we'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. to talk about everything that happened. See you guys then.
See you guys then.